I was disgusting. I listened to the Butthole Surfers and fucking smoke weed all the time. What I care about Frank's hairy arm.
Man, dude, I just listened to fucking when I was taking a shower. I was listening to Sabotage, man. That album, front to back to front, is just. I mean, it's always been one of my favorite albums,
Right.
but just I don't know, man. I heard a song earlier that reminded me of Sabbath. I was like, you know what? Like, cause that's like my favorite fall winter album anyway. You have certain albums for different seasons and shit.
Sure, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Not that I wouldn't be listening to that during in the summertime too, but
Yeah, but certain things target maybe the first impressions it made on you, or the whatever it triggers a memory that relates to a time in your life, or
exactly
time of year.
That's exactly it reminds me of driving around a lot, smoking weed during the winter when I got turned on to that.
You know what? It sounds like a very cliche but appropriate connection. Listening to Black Sabbath, driving around smoking weed.
Mm-hmm.
I was a late bloomer with Black Sabbath, because when I grew up, the people listening to heavy metal, were the same kids that would, corner me at school and throw eggs at me and embezzled money from me. Like, I was bullied, Now, I'm not like Crimea River. It's just part of the story. But Black Sabbath
It's so weird though, because you feel like you'd be that kid that would fit into that world. You know what I mean?
Me?
Yeah, because you like good music.
Sure, but this was the early '80s. Liking good music wasn't as much of a commodity. Liking good music didn't really take you as far in the mainstream other demographics of people.
Yeah, I just mean that you reminded me like you would have been an outsider back then.
I was.
Like, you know what I mean?
I was, but I didn't have access. I didn't have maybe because my sister didn't listen to heavy metal, or I had like another sibling that turned me on to it, because the association I had with the Iron Maiden, Black Sabbaths, and Judas Priest and all that was Motley Crue were the Burnouts, and the Burnouts were they were the weirdos. It wasn't even like punks and skins yet. It was like Burnouts or new wave, weirdos. And I was a new wave weirdo. But Black Sabbath became a big thing for me in college. I was playing in bands, and one guy, like, I've heard Black Sabbath. I knew Black Sabbath. I just never owned an album and listened through an album and I didn't use it right, My impression of Ozzy Osbourne was, Crazy Train. I was late. I was late for the Crazy Train. Anyway,
I love it.
But I had a bandmate. What was his name? Was his name Justin? I think his name was Justin, and he liked Black Sabbath a lot and played it for me. And it was probably my second year in college or whatever, in '92 or something. Super late when I picked up on Black Sabbath and be like, man, this is excellent to drink and smoke weed to, and to jam out to. It was like
just that stoner rock, and just heavy as fuck.
It was good and weird, and the kind of weird that was like,
especially those later albums.
Yeah, and the in between songs, a lot of the less played tracks are strange, and I like that. It's like, wow, they're heavy metal, but they're weird too. And
go on.
No, I was gonna say, I just I felt more akin to the weirdo songs. Like, there was something there that I would have probably appreciated had I listened to it while I was a new wave kid when I was 13.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I was probably Ozzy first as well. I just remember my brother had just the first album. I think I've told you that story before. Like, I would go through his vinyl when he was
you'd see the album.
With that show, with that rain and that. Wow.
See, but that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
You had an awesome older brother who listened to heavy metal music. Yeah. Music and
but
memory.
I was like I didn't get into I was like you, but opposite, where I didn't get into like the Cure and all that stuff until after college. Well,
Right.
I mean, I only did a year of college, so you
Right.
know,
Right.
well, I don't even know what fucking year that would have been. 93, 94 or something. So I was a late bloomer to all that stuff.
Yeah. And you were living
Depeche Mode.
you were living in Cambridge, right? Did you move to Cambridge, or am I getting the story wrong? Am I making up your whole story?
No, 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 no. It's
I don't
funny
know
because
you.
yeah, yeah.
Tell me again. I have this imagined. I think
Yeah,
I had a dream
I
about.
went to the Art Institute, which was in Kenmore,
Yeah,
right?
I remember that. I
Yeah,
had a friend and
yeah,
a good friend and roommate who went there.
yeah. And then, but I
But
only
when
did
you
a
were
year.
living, where were you living during that time?
That was until like way later, like 96, 97. I don't know.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe 97, where I moved to South, like the 4 Point Channel, South Station area.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, we
Yeah,
had this conversation.
South
See,
Boston. Yeah,
it wasn't a dream. This is real. I really do know your life.
yeah,
Okay, good. Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you for clearing that up. That's right. Oh my God.
And that wasn't even that long. It felt like a long time, but it's probably only like eight months maybe I was living there. I don't know.
Mm,
It's so funny because back then everything seemed like it fucking went on for a while. I
right.
don't know. Time back then seemed like it stretched on to me. Like I remember even being a kid. Your summers, like your summer break. I don't know. Sometimes I guess it did kind of fly by. You'd be like, fuck, I gotta
Yeah,
go back to
back in
school.
school again.
But I
But
don't
I
know.
know what you're
Sometimes I
saying.
felt like
I know what you're
it,
saying.
it ran.
Yeah.
Like days went on forever. Like today, now it's like no matter how early I wake up, it seems like the day's already over the minute I step out of bed.
That's the
Yeah.
curse. But we also have daylight savings time coming up. Maybe that'll help.
I know. Thank God for that. It's already getting
Longer
darker.
days help. Yeah, right now it's dark. Is it 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock? What is 6 o'clock? This is ridiculous. Not
Yeah.
cool. Not cool.
Yeah. Better
I
than 4 o'clock though. It was getting dark at 4 o'clock in the beginning there, and I was like, oh man.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to talk about the weather.
Yeah, I love that piece.
This guy?
The piece. Yeah. The
Yeah.
waves.
Yeah.
The
Thanks.
city waves.
Mm.
Top tower waves.
Yeah. Finally working on
That's
that
when you
again.
started a while ago, right?
Yeah. I started. Actually, I did a drawing in 2019 when I was in Berlin, staying there. I did a pile of drawings, and one of them was this idea I've been playing around in my head for a while. Just working out some ideas that have existed that I haven't hit on, and it was the wave drawing. And when I came back, I think in
Hold on.
January.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Did I lose you?
Uh-oh. Okay, let's start again. You said when you were in Germany and then you started chopping up.
Okay.
Please
It
tell
was
me.
in 2019 when I was in Germany. I was doing a
Yeah.
pile of drawings and to work out some old ideas, and one of them was this one. And I just like the way this drawing came out better than any other time I've done it. And when I came back, I think it started in January.
Yeah.
And then by March, everything went to shit. And that's when, we were doing the lockdown and everything. And I stopped working on every fucking piece that I had started. Like I came into the New Year's guns blazing, like I'm fucking making new work. I just had a show in Germany I haven't had in 4 years. I got to travel and see friends I haven't seen in a while. I was amped. And I just came back from my first vacation in 10 years with Juliet too. So I felt like, okay.
Yeah. What month was that? What month was
I
that?
went in December. So I was in Germany in November, and then December I took a vacation, came back, and started for the New Year's.
Yeah.
Like I do traditionally, I like to start some new pieces, and
Yeah.
that was one of them. From the drawing, I was like, this is fucking great. I feel good. I'm making drawings, and I'm realizing paintings from them. All right, it's working. The machine is working.
Yeah. And then,
and then fucking
the
COVID.
world.
And then every idea that I was using or thoughts that I was inspired by became ghosts and irrelevant and just like, I'm not working on anything. How could I work on anything? I don't
like
want
that. All the ideas you were working on became ghosts and irrelevant. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I did.
That's nice. That's nice
Thanks.
poetry.
It's
there.
sad, but it's yeah.
Well,
Sylvia
then it's
Plath.
not nice, but it's like the
No.
phrasing. I
I
like
get
the
you.
phrasings.
Great. Well, listen,
That's what I
I
call
put
the
this
album.
fucking I put this fucking painting away for God knows. It's been like sitting, moving around the studio. It's been in the way. Like I shifted over here. I put it sideways behind a piece of cardboard. It's just,
It's good.
it's been gone for a
Good.
while, and I just broke it out
Yeah, and it's
beginning of
brand
this
new.
week. Yeah, now
It's like seeing a friend that you kind of met, but you didn't you didn't know so well.
yeah, maybe I didn't treat it so well. Maybe I didn't.
I
It's
don't
an
know. I
old friend
love
that.
that. I love putting a piece away. I love it, and then you
Yeah,
kind of rediscover it again, and then it's you kind of remember the conversations you were having and stuff, and
yeah,
that.
and the
Like,
techniques. I've got techniques in there that with all the just the kind of style of all these windows that are in all these towers.
mm-hmm.
This dot 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 thing feels really right with all the pixelated paintings I was doing like over the year while I was
Yeah, that's
stashed away.
right. That's
So
right.
a lot of this kind of like techniques that I've been playing with and picked up over the year while I've been
Yeah,
ignoring this
and then
painting fits
interpreted
well.
it into
Yeah, it
like a
works.
more, you know, uh, I don't know. I guess like a more you piece, I would say. You know what I mean? Like where like the game stuff you were doing
Hmm.
was kind of you playing. Not
Yeah,
that you're not playing there on that
exploring.
page,
Yeah, I was
but
like,
I think exploring. Yeah, exactly.
oh,
And then to see it actually used in a piece that definitely lives within your world.
right, right.
It's fucking rad. That's
Thanks.
pretty awesome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh goodness, it
Did you
makes
do
me great.
transfers in that or no?
Yes, there are some.
You did. Yeah.
There's a few. It's much more scattered and
Mm.
integrated with drawing and painting than I've usually done, and I like it. And there's a couple different types of transfer: paper transfer and carbon acetate transfers.
Yeah.
The paper transfers are tougher because everything's backwards, because
Oh
like
yeah.
you're flipping it upside down, face down. So a couple things you got to do to make sure things are straight or pointing the direction you want to. I have a light box and I just trace out the most important straight line that I need to follow as like a ruler. So
Yeah.
if like there's a tower, I'll trace the back of the the minaret, the point of the tower, so I know
Hmm.
at least which way is north. It's like a compass. This is straight, so that it's lined up
Yeah,
with the
because you're
rest of
not
the
being able
painting.
to see through the
Right.
actual paper transfer.
Yeah, not until you rub it away. So
So
that
how does a paper transfer work versus the plastic transfer? Because the plastic transfer you rip off, and then
yeah,
the paper you rip off as well.
the paper you get the paper wet and you very softly rub. Yeah, you rub the paper
Yes.
away. You pull it.
Yes. I've seen that done
Mhm.
before. Yeah.
It's a little
No-
more delicate and challenging because of the upside down backwards, but
Yeah.
it's fun. And I've done some experimenting where you take the drawing. Let's say I make a print of a city that I want in a painting,
Yeah.
and with the clear acetate I can paint down on the canvas and put the clear on top of the color. But with
Yeah.
the prints, I could paint color blocks on top of the picture, essentially painting out the picture, but put color
Yeah.
where I want it, and then
Yeah.
flip that on its face, and it transfers as if you do the clear acetate on top of color. So
Yeah.
it does pick up the color and stick with it. So you could still
Yeah.
do if I wanted to color one building yellow, one small house yellow, one green, I could do yellow and green, painting over the image, and then when you do the transfer,
Absolutely.
it comes out nice and it
Let me
works.
ask you this though, right? So now, oh, you're breaking up again.
Nope. Hello? I'm back.
Hello?
Hello?
You're still breaking up.
Okay. What? Wow.
There you are.
Wow.
Um, the, the
You're not breaking up.
the
You're
bit-
just stuttering.
oh, okay.
Okay. Okay.
Exactly.
Oh.
My question is that so with the glue, it can't be a water-based glue because I'm thinking that because you use water to rub away the paper, right?
Right.
Or
No, I use
wouldn't the
gel
water
medium.
reactivate
No,
the glue?
not like the PVA. The PVA is the water reactivatable. You don't want to use that because it
Okay.
it
It would
reactivates the
reactivate it.
adhesive, and you want the adhesive to be dry. That's holding on to the ink. Because the gel medium, when you use gel medium, it dries. You got to wait for it to dry too, which is a long time, but um, it doesn't get reactivated with water.
With the water.
So it stays put.
Same way you find like an old acrylic brush that you forgot to clean.
Yes.
It's like fucking, you forget about it. You're not going to get it clean again.
It's real cool when you put it on the wall and you're like, oh, man.
I got a lot of those.
You go, oh, man.
I got a lot of coolness fucking in here then.
You're the coolest guy ever.
A lot of brushes that I forgot to clean.
You can open up like a little tchotchke shop. Put it on Etsy, man.
I just threw away a bunch of them like a couple weeks ago because I was just like, what am I saving these for? What am I doing?
Raffle them off.
It was like literally like a grocery bag.
Dead brushes?
Yeah, just like brushes. I was like, well, maybe I'll do something.
Yeah,
maybe I'll still be able to use it to like as a tool somehow.
Yeah, I have a can of those. Where are they? God,
dude,
I got my can of dead brushes. It's like they're terrible, but there's a job for them.
I still got mine.
And you know when you
with all the ones I threw out.
You're gonna open that bottle of shellac or something, and you're like, I just need a little bit.
Yeah.
It's gonna kill the brush, and you don't have turpentine or whatever. You have turpentine.
No, exactly.
Oh, Lord.
Man. So, dude, I went outside this week, and we had a beautiful day. Was it this week? Yeah, I think it was this week. Yeah, it was the beginning of the week, right?
Right.
We had a really nice day, and I ended up using my breaking in the jigsaw for the first time.
Oh, your new jigsaw. Yeah.
It was like butter. It was awesome.
There's nothing like a tool that works. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, God. It has that slow start too. I mean, a bunch of common shit that all saws nowadays have, but I was so used to the one that I had where it was just like,
yeah. Was it a Black & Decker? Let me ask you. Was it a Black & Decker?
Yeah. Yes. And just one speed, just
I knew
destroy.
it. Yeah. Yes. I had.
It was probably literally like $10. My father gave it to me.
It just sounds like it's breaking.
Oh my God! Yeah, it's
yeah. And that one very fast
it sounds like there's like nuts and bolts like just jumping around inside of it.
You just gotta get ready to. And it's not like a trigger switch; it's like an on and off switch. The trigger switch, it's not you let go of the trigger, it stops. This one you have to be ready to turn it off. You got to be ready.
Just cut your hand off.
Yeah. And then times when you have to catch the wood, so you just put the saw down and it's still running. It's like on the floor. Yeah.
Jumping closer towards you. You're trying to think of wood away from where it comes in. Oh, so good.
So good. I'm glad you got a new jigsaw. I got to try it out. That's a lot of fun.
I did have to buy a new battery already though, because the battery that I had for it.
What?
Yeah, well, the battery still works, but it's only a 2-hour battery, and I was cutting like 1/2-inch wood with it. Oh. So like it seemed like
it drained
it super fast. So I just bought a 6-hour battery for it. So.
Oh, it's like a 8-point something battery.
18. Yeah, 18 volt.
Yeah.
But it was awesome. And the other thing I did too was. So I've been working on this one painting for like over a year. And it made me think about coming over to your studio that time where I brought that oval painting that I had painted, but I didn't cut it yet because I didn't have a jigsaw and I had to use yours. And you were like, dude, are you fucking serious? I was like, yeah, well, I didn't have one,
Yeah.
Like, dude, crazy. So I did that again with this painting because when I started this painting over a year ago, I didn't have one.
Right.
And, well, I knew I had that one.
How did it work out?
No fucking way I'm using that. What's that?
How did it work out cutting this last painting that you just?
Yeah, so I blue taped all the. I did the same way I did that oval painting that time.
Right.
But I blue taped all the edges of it. Where I knew the saw was gonna be run. I put 4 layers of tape on top just so.
And it worked out well. It did.
Yeah. And then I put the that white paper that the glassine paper on top of it, so I knew that I wouldn't scuff it or anything. The painting itself.
Yeah. Otherwise, you leave that rub mark, that edge of the saw.
Exactly.
Against the edge.
That's why I put like 4 layers of tape on that area, and then I bought a super fine, like one of those super fine blades and that.
Okay.
And then and I just way took my time, you know.
Yeah.
And it came out perfect.
Well, that's
Chip,
also
no wood
why
chip.
using that superfine blade goes slower through the wood. So that's probably why it drained your battery too. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
if you use a
yeah,
regular tooth for a
yeah.
half-inch wood, you'd probably be less work for the saw. You know?
And then I was cutting the frame for it. And the frame is, you know, a lot of cuts. So that's what really drained it. You know,
I was,
and
I was,
that's quarter. I mean,
you,
half inch.
you know how social media always throws all these fucking ads through like Instagram every like five out of six posts are advertisements now. You
Yeah,
know, I get weird ones for power tools, like strange power tools, like
because we're probably talking about it. That's why you
right,
get
exactly. I mean, this thing is listening right now. It's like,
yeah,
power tool. It's good. There's going to be a DeWalt ad coming up
yeah.
pretty soon. But I saw a really cool one for like a tabletop, not even tabletop, but like miniature, like size of those old printers of a table saw. You know,
Yeah, the bandsaw, right?
it's bandsaw is the one that with the long bandsaw. The table saw is
Yeah,
the one
yeah.
with the circular table saw.
Oh, yes,
Table
yeah,
saw.
yeah. The fucking deadly ones.
Yeah,
The
it's the ones I'm
terrifying.
most scared of. Yeah,
Yeah, that's me too. I
but
hate them.
it had a really nice one. But they're good for ripping boards and stuff like
Absolutely.
that and squaring off. But if you get the fucking the miter saw with the pull, that's just as good, I think.
And that's the last one you got. You got a
Yeah,
bigger
yeah.
one than the one you had before, right?
I'm just blah blahing about this saw bullshit.
I love it though. I love it. I was always thinking about too, you know, about getting one of those, but well, I mean, obviously I don't have the place to put one of them. But then I'm like, you know what? Fuck that. I wouldn't,
Mm.
because I mean, they're so scary. I've
Yeah,
used them before at the theater
yeah,
and then obviously growing up with my dad, I used them all the time. But
right.
it's but I also too, every fucking time I'd use one, and I understand why. I'd get the lecture. This
Yeah,
thing is no joke. If you
yeah,
fucking look away at 1 second, it
yeah,
has no fucking mercy, and take your hand fucking clean off. I'm like,
yeah,
I know.
yeah. Before you realize your finger's gone, your finger's gone.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And my father's seen that happen many times on the job
Yikes!
sites with
Yikes!
people. Yeah, yeah,
Yikes!
yeah. Do you ever see the fucking? Let's just keep talking sauce because I like this
Saw
subject.
talk. Welcome to Saw talk.
Did you ever see the
You ever
one?
see Saw 2?
Now that is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
No, I don't even know.
All right, go on.
I think we talked about this before, but the ones that like it's like heat sensitive
Yeah,
or
the,
some
mo-
shit. And
the,
the
the
blade
moisture. It's moisture sensitive.
moisture.
It
That's
it
what.
it's like a moisture thing that it senses. It could sense it from a banana or it could sense it from a hand.
But it doesn't sense it from wood. There's a lot of
Well,
moisture
wood.
in wood a lot of times too.
It's a diff. I listen, man. I don't know the exact science behind it, but
Yeah,
that's what I'm getting. It's a texture, moisture thing, whatever,
yeah.
and it's a cool thing, but it totally destroys your saw every time it
Oh yeah,
happens. So it's almost like it does save your hand, but it will destroy the saw.
yeah. But I'd rather destroy the saw than destroy the hand.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah. But if you get a real damp piece of wood, maybe not so good.
I don't know. What are you doing cutting damp wood?
I
Huh?
don't know. That's true.
What are you
I don't
doing? I don't
know.
know, man. Honestly, there's a tool for every job.
Yeah, yeah,
Damp saw.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might be getting. I told you though. I think we had that conversation. I might be getting a chop saw soon, and just
Yeah.
figuring out where to put it. Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially summertime rolls around.
if you're trouble for space, just get a small one. For the jobs that you're using, you don't really need to have such a large one right now. If you can't fit it, it's better to have something and be able to
Yeah,
get the work done, right?
it's
You
true.
know. So
I just like, but I mean, to have the pole,
you mean the pull?
Yeah, yeah.
I know. The smaller ones are great, but they're even more expensive. Like the DeWalt that I got is for the the tool. It's a good price, but it's a larger one. You could get like some of the Makitas just feel smaller, like they're less
Yeah, my
bulky.
father has a really nice small, like I think it's a Makita, and
Yeah.
blue, right, is Makita,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think it's a Makita, and it's like the blade's like small, and it's
Yeah,
a
you get
small
like a
saw,
9-inch.
but
Yeah,
the fucking pole on it is like
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
You know, It's great.
Yeah,
I
just
was
get
like,
whatever
I
you
love
want.
this fucking song. He was like, dude, if you live close, I'll just give it to you. And I was like, I don't know.
Everybody wants you to move to them. I want you to move to me. Why don't you move closer? Why are you torturing all of us, David?
Well, my thing is 50. You know, by the time I'm 50, it's like, I know I'm not going to be wanting to take trains or anything like that. So
how about by the time I'm 50?
Well, that's like right around the corner, right?
Yeah.
I got 4 years. What do you got? You got
I
3?
think I've a year and a half.
A year and a half?
Yeah. Wait.
Dude.
Yeah, a year and a half.
I'm going to have a blowout.
I've already had a blowout. That's why I'm so mellow. I'm not going to play. I had far too many blowouts. I'm blown out.
I've blown out a long time ago.
Yeah, I'd like to have a party. I just want to have a party for fuck's sake. Just have some drinks, play some cards.
Oh my God! Speaking of, dude, I kept on meaning to send you this with the painting that I'm working on.
Right.
I've been just jonesing to play poker because there's like so many cards in the painting.
Oh yes.
So it's like drawing like cards. Like I'm
thinking about poker night.
Yeah, totally.
That's funny. What's the theme behind this painting? What is it? What's
it's for a Lewis Carroll group show. So so I did Alice like through the looking glass type of thing.
Where is the show?
Haven Gallery out in it's I forget what part of New York, but it's like it's about an hour and a half car ride from here, from the city. So it's I don't even know, to be honest. I've never been there yet, So
you like whatever.
Yeah. So it's out though somewhere.
Well, if you go,
I don't know if it's considered upstate or
it's out. You're like at the bottom tip. It's got to be in.
Yeah.
So
I've literally been to New York City, and then I've been to where all the hippies went that time.
Woodstock,
and that was when I met. I didn't even know you then, but we ran past each other.
That's right. Woodstock, New York.
The art show we did out there.
Yeah, I remember seeing you walk down the street.
Yeah. Who's that guy? You had that captain hat on.
Did I?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, just sailor not sailor. Well, yeah, sailor. I don't know, captain hat, right?
I don't know. Maybe fisherman's hat.
Fisherman hat. Yeah, fisherman's
hat. Yeah, like the Greek fisherman. I used to wear those. My dad would always wear those.
Those are awesome. Yeah, I used to have one as a little kid.
Yeah, but I've been trying to find one, like, not recently, but the last time, and all I could find were, like, I don't know, like, they seemed like knockoff or hipster versions.
You don't still have the one that you had?
No. I lost it. I lost it. I remember, I think I lost it in New Zealand. I lost it on a trip.
That hat, out of all the hats that you wear, that's like the hat that suits you the best. I always felt that way. I never told you that. I'm telling you now.
Well, thanks.
I mean, everybody wears beanies and freaking, like those look great on anybody. But
that's not true. They don't look great on
that's
anybody.
Not true. That is not true. But or toboggan or whatever the fuck they're called, winter hats. But the yeah, I think they're called toboggans too.
It's a sled. Oh, really? The hats are called toboggans? I don't know, man. You're from fucking North.
Yeah, I don't know. But I think that's more of a
this conversation thing. Is so weird. I have no idea what we're talking about. So
I'm juiced up.
You are, man. I feel like I'm like low on steam. I think I'm gonna move on to vodka. It's 6:30. I should.
Yeah, but that hat though, the fisherman's hat.
Right.
That was mine too. Yeah, but we had this conversation before. You don't remember Captain Bob, right? That was like an East Coast thing, I think. Well, you are on the fucking East Coast.
Yeah, I'm from New York.
That was a New England thing, I guess.
Maybe New England. What was Captain Bob?
He was a guy that like drew every Sunday morning. And yeah, because you guys had your own guy. I think we had this conversation before, but you would you'd be on the water and then you'd go through the docks and stuff like that, and then you'd go, and it was like a model, and then you'd go into his little fisherman cabin, and he had the fisherman hat on, just like a fisherman.
Maybe he's local.
He would draw sea creatures, like you would learn how to draw a sunfish or a fucking whatever, angelfish or something like that, or a lobster that week.
I don't have that in my craw at all. I don't
Yeah,
recall it.
yeah. But his hat was white.
Like a real captain's hat.
Yeah, because you had it was like blue or black, right?
Yeah, they're usually dark blue or like a navy blue.
Yeah.
The first one of
Anyway,
those I stole from my dad because my dad used to always wear them. And the
yeah.
first one I ever had, I stole from my pop. Probably that one that you knew me in too, because every once in a while I'd go to visit home, and my dad would have another one of his hats in the closet of stuff that usually is like out of circulation closet, like jackets and old gloves, like single gloves and blah blah blah. And I come across one of my dad's hats because he's a man of many hats, a lot of hats, and
Man
I'd be
of
like,
many
oh.
hats.
Oh, I like this one. My dad has too many hats. He doesn't need so many hats. And
Yeah, gank it.
gank it.
Yeah, I used to do that with my brother's t-shirts and shit, and then get beat up because he fucked up wearing his shirts.
I would get beat up. I would get just emotionally tortured and like stained with nightmares for years of my life that not even therapy could work out.
Yeah.
Just gonna paint some tree stumps.
Nice.
See what happens. If anything comes out of it.
Well, something's definitely gonna come out of it.
No, not necessarily. I feel like I've been down this road before, but that's something keeps bringing me back.
Mm-hmm.
Must be something about you, baby. Yeah. Now it's a hat. Now it's a sun hat. Now I'm drawing hats.
Let me see. Let's see that.
It's a hat. It was a stump. It was
That was
supposed to
a
be
tree.
supposed to be a stump.
Oh, there you
That's the
go. There you
stump,
go. Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Stump. That looks more
I
like a
like that
stump.
stump.
That's a
That
stump.
stump. Yeah, I like the other
Stump.
stump. I
Thanks.
like the little stump.
And then this was a little stump that became a hat.
Hat. Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
the little stump that became a hat. See you later, alligator.
Perfect.
More stumps. Stoops. Drawing stumps and stoops. Stoops and stumps.
Stoopy stumps.
Sitting with stoops and drawing some stumps. I had me a thought. What was the first job that you've ever had?
Sweeping the floor at a muffin joint.
Muffin joint?
Yeah, like a place that it was called Muffin More. They used to make muffins. It was right down the street from where I live, so I could ride my bike there.
Was it like a breakfast
And
place,
they had a
or is it open
they
all
had a
day?
great jukebox. They made muffins. I don't remember if they made bagels and stuff like that, but they made muffins. Like it was like a bakery, you know.
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
But they had you bought like it was like a coffee shop. You go in there, buy
yeah.
a cup of coffee, you get a
Mm-hmm.
muffin more.
Huh.
Yeah. My first job. Second job was grocery store. My first like legitimate job was probably the grocery store. And granted, God knows how long that lasted. That probably didn't last very long either. I was bagging groceries.
You're a
Would
bagger?
you like paper or plastic, please? Paper, plastic? Yeah.
Right.
And it was like in the rich part of like started being the rich area too. So it just had a bunch of snobby fucking
Where, in Newton?
patrons. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeesh.
Yeah. It was past like, started like past getting into the more expensive side of Newton.
Fancy Newton grocery store.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you needed baggers. Us regular folk, we could bag our own fucking groceries.
Groceries. Yeah. I mean, dude, this place was crazy where you'd bag the groceries and then you would put them on a cart,
Right.
and then the cart would go down this wheeled thing or whatever, and then and then you gave them a card with a number on it. They'd get in their car, go out to their car, get in the car, and then they could go drive, and then you'd hand them the number, and then you'd pick up the groceries and put them into the trunk of the car.
So crazy.
Yeah, crazy, right? Which
Like
that grocery store's still there, so I wonder if they still if that's
Well,
still
now
part.
every grocery store does that because of COVID.
I mean, that's true. That's true. That's true.
I do that with the
That's
liquor
true.
store.
Yeah.
I got a
Did you?
Total Wine. Yeah, we order a case of wine.
Yeah.
They have the option which you can go in and get it, but if you could just pull into a spot, call them, click the app, and they
Oh,
come
that's
out.
awesome. And they just come out
Yeah,
and
you pop
deliver.
the trunk, you leave the trunk open, they pop it in the back. Just show them your ID.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's just like getting a COVID test, but
What
you
was
get
your first job?
booze. I got a job in a pizza place
I think I
called
remember this.
Gigi's Pizza.
Now, young teenager or even younger,
Too old. I should have probably started earlier. It was in high school already. It was
or like I
probably
was 35.
it was last
Yeah.
week. Oh my God, I lost the
You
job
want
already.
pepperoni on that?
Hey, you douche. No, I was in high school. I remember, and I got in a fight with my dad because I didn't have a job.
I'm going out and I'm getting a job.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
getting
what
a real job.
it was like said something condescending, like call me a loser or some shit.
Yeah.
And it was like, fuck you. And I got in the car and I was pissed. I'm like, I ran out of the house. I got in the car, I just drove, not with any
You
intention.
see the first help wanted sign.
I did. That's what happened. I drove past the pizza place that said help wanted. I doubled back. I turned and pulled in the parking lot and I said, I'm here about the help wanted sign. You guys
Here's your
hiring?
help, buddy. Yeah.
I said, yeah, when can you start? I mean, when do you need me? Tomorrow. They're like, I'll be here tomorrow. I went home. My father said, where were you? I said, got a job. And I came back like maybe 45 minutes later with a job. Tough love.
Now, how long
Works.
that one lasts?
It was just, I left town maybe, 6 months later. So.
Oh, that's a long time, dude.
It,
I think my first
not
grocery
even,
store job was like a week.
I probably,
maybe a month.
I could be wrong. I could have been left 3 months later. I don't remember. It wasn't very long that I had such an illustrious career, but long enough that I got bored with it.
Yeah.
But it was a funny job, man.
But you had that until you went to college before you left
Yeah.
town.
Yeah. I had it up until I went to school.
And were you just like a register guy, or did you make the pizza?
No, I did everything except spin the dough,
The dough.
and or like
you
Frank.
Sauced it up with the.
I mean, yeah,
spoon.
no, the guy I worked with, his name was Frank, total Italian, like very short,
Perfect.
big nose, like wiry muscle, big thick black dark mustache only, and the
like
fucking
Luigi.
Yeah, and he had the Fontaine hairdo, the like what's his name, the Cherry Baby, Richie Valley, is it? It's Valley. Frankie Valley. Frankie Valley. His name's Frank. Why did I just say Frank?
I don't
His name
know.
was Frank. All right. So Frank had Frankie Valley hairdo. And he also did a lot of cocaine. At this time, I was in high school. I wasn't dabbling in cocaine, but he would disappear in the back room, make the dough. I'm going to make the dough. I'm like, yeah, that means you're going to go take some cocaine. And then he comes back. He's like, oh, fucking, spinning the pizzas around. Yeah, it's like super amped all the time.
Yeah.
Or he's napping in the back. He would also go in the back and nap, and I'd man the ship. But he would spin out all the dough. He'd sauce it and put it on the tray. Then, you pull it off the tray and put the cheese on, whatever somebody wanted. And I'd make either a whole pie at a time, or there'd be the pre-made. You make like 3 pies for the day. Yeah. One goes in the window, 2 underneath. You put the slice out, people go, and then you have the nut. And when you're running low, you're like, hey, Frank, I got a couple more pizzas, blah, blah. And I also made the sauce. Now, this is great. Frank teaching me how to make the pizza sauce. Had those big cans of tomato with the can opener that's like this, the big wheel.
The wheel one. Yeah, I forgot about those, yeah.
They open up a couple of those big cans, and you put it in the big steel pot. The pot is like half my height. He's pouring it in can to can. He's like, and then you had, the spices, and you had those big, things of oregano. He's like pouring in oregano, basil, salt, and pepper.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then you just mix it all up, and he rolls up his sleeve.
No
And
way.
he's got this like wiry, dark, hairy arm, and he
his
jams
fingernails
it in the
are-
fucking pot, and he just starts spinning the sauce, and then you just spin the sauce like this is. And
I bet
it
you
was,
never had pizza from there ever again.
well, I did, but I didn't fucking care. I was disgusting. I listened to the Butthole Surfers and fucking smoke weed all the time. What didn't care about Frank's hairy arm. And
That should have been the name of it. Frank's.
hey, welcome to Frank's hairy arm. You know what you're getting, but that was how I that's how I was taught how to make the sauce. So I mean, eventually it became David's hairy arm because, well, not that hairy. I was still a little nubile. I was a little nubile. I didn't have quite as much hair as I do. In my older days.
I'm just thinking about the cleanliness.
It's so disgusting. Washing hands. Yeah, right. Listen, man. Whatever. I also made the sandwiches.
God,
like
guys are so gross.
Yeah, guys are disgusting. And that's how that pizza sauce is made. Fuck it.
Here we are.
Frank's hairy arm. Let me get 2 slices of Frank's hairy arm. You like that? Huh?
It's reminding me. My favorite pizza joint growing up was
Is this a new?
It was in Waltham, but was like
Waltham.
close enough where we could ride our bikes. Because I grew up right on the Waltham Newton line.
Right.
Right. It was called Franco's.
Franco's. Close.
Franco's.
Frank's hairy arm. Yeah, buddy.
Oh my God. Oh
That's
yeah,
hilarious.
that pizza joint was great. I just remember that the jukebox had Space Invaders. No, Galactica. They also had
not Galactica. There was either Galaxian or Galaga.
Which
Galaxian.
Which one's with the bumblebees that fly down?
That's Galaga. The one that sucks
Galaga.
you up is Galaga.
Yeah.
Galaxian had also. Galaxian was like Space Invaders and Galaga mixed together.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But it didn't have the
big
beam.
Centipede one.
No, that's Centipede.
Anyways, the other one
how do you even
that I
make
used to
that
love
mistake?
too was Joust. I used to love Joust. That was
Okay.
there too. Oh my God, I haven't laughed like that in a while. Oh, I feel like I'm high.
Me too.
Oh my God. Oh. Here we are. Oh God. Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. So the next time you probably had a job was Odessa. Did you work when you were in Boston?
Yeah. I worked
you did?
whole. I actually got a job in the food store. The first job I got was in my.
Anybody got pizza?
No, in my school. No, they didn't have any. We didn't make food, but they had like some prepared food that was brought in from like there was be like a fridge. You could get like nature's tuna. Get like a whole wheat sandwich with sprouts.
Yeah, before Whole Foods or some shit,
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Or they like health food store food,
Yeah.
Where everything smelled like health food store. But I was really bad at that job. That wasn't actually the first job. First job I got in Boston, I was stock boy at the Gap.
The Gap?
Yeah, I got a job at the Gap.
You working at the Gap? Yeah, the dressing room's over there.
See, you just opened my memory. My first job was actually not at the pizza joint. That was my second job.
Mm-hmm.
The first job I ever had was stock boy at Merry-Go-Round. Remember these clothing store, Merry-Go-Round?
Yeah.
My sister worked the floor there, and because she was very pretty and cool, but she got me a job at the mall working in the stock room. Unboxing, pants and shirts and putting them on hangers and throwing the plastic in there and dumping the garbage in the back. I had that job for probably 2 months. I couldn't hold that job. I was inconsistent in availability. I wouldn't show up sometimes because, I'm fucking 13. skateboarding instead. But my first job in Boston was with my friend Kai. We got stockroom jobs at the Gap, and I would steal pants from them all the time. I'd wear pants under pants. I'd put on a pair of pants, put on another pair of pants on top of that. I once wore 3 pairs of pants at once. That was my record, and we totally got
out like
yeah. I'm not even kidding.
What? Has David been working out only on his legs?
Has David been eating heavily?
He's got these huge, massive legs.
We were so sloppy and blatant about it that when we got busted, we were just like, yep, and we just were fired and left right away. That lasted a couple months too. Yeah. But at the food store at this museum school, I worked there, and I was bad. I was bad there too. I used to give food away and stuff. I would just give food away to people. I wouldn't charge them. I had one of those Velcro ball games. Those dart games, but they're Velcro balls. You know that kind of shit.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And there was a tiny version, and I would only during the summer, because during the summer it was like continuing education. High school students were coming in and doing like pre-course stuff, whatever. So it was a little looser, not as many people around. And I would do a thing where it's like, all right, you throw the Velcro ball, not for everyone, just for people I like. And whatever you landed on, that's what you pay for your fucking lunch. And the highest you could pay was $1 because 100 was the highest score in the middle. But people wouldn't know the rules. I'd be like, go ahead, throw it. And they'd be like, what? I'm like, throw. It'd land on 25. Be like, all right, that's 25 cents. Like, what? And I'd ring them up for 25 cents, and they'd walk off with their food. Like,
I always wanted to make sure that they were coming when you were working.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame them. See, I was the kind of...
Why is David's line so big and we have all these other people working? Hey, your fucking line would be stretching down.
Thursdays are huge. But for some reason, we can't turn a profit.
Yeah, I know, but for some reason, we're making no money at all.
How do we owe money? Yeah, that didn't last very long because it wasn't a very smart plan as far as maintaining that job. It was fun.
Yeah, after the grocery store, I think it was construction, and then that was like my, working for my dad. No fucking around there.
Yeah.
And then after that would be, I think I started working at KB Toy. My friend got me a job there.
KB Hobby, really?
Yeah, and me and him were collecting toys at that time. We were like, you would get the box would come in with the new X-Men, and there'd be only in every maybe 25 boxes, you'd have one figure that would only come into that, in one of those boxes out of 25. So that'd be the rare figure and shit. So I'd be like, you got this one yet? He'd be like, oh, I already got it. You grab that one. So then I'd get it or whatever.
Like whenever the Ewoks would come into the stock, you get it.
But we pretty much worked there for that reason only. And then,
that's a good enough reason. That's a good enough reason to work at a place. I did the same thing with a place, but with dental insurance. To get my teeth fixed. I worked there for the 3 months that it took for the insurance to kick in. I got my teeth fixed and I quit.
That's great.
You get what you want. My music sounds bad enough when it sounds good.
Actually, it might sound better. It's hard to
shit! It might. Yeah. Maybe I'm gonna put our heavy metal song on our next podcast.
There you go.
It's the one where you've got like that.
There you go.
That angel rock vocal, like.
Oh yeah.
I can't even do it. So. Yeah, that one. That's one. You sound just like that song, man. No, but it's a good tune. It's funny. And I've been doing like a Rammstein vocal in the back.
This is good. Yeah, we'll have to put that as the outro.
All right, man. I'll talk
All
to
right.
you later.